Fatigue. Sometimes you know it's there, other times it comes without warning. Everyone has it from now and then, but can really become deadly when around vehicles, especially trains. Trains are knowingly massive in size, and when they wreck, those disasters can be just as catastrophic. So when trains and fatigue mix, you get very bad accidents. A good example of this is the Spuyten Duyvil disaster in New York that took place in December 2013. However, 3 years later, there would be an accident that would be on a bigger scale than that accident in neighboring New Jersey. New Jersey Transit is no stranger to train accidents, the Secaucus Junction train collision in 1996 being the deadliest NJT accident as of right now. With PTC not being implemented on the system at the time, it's hard to stop accidents like these. On September 29, 2016, New Jersey Transit train 1614 was on the Pascack Valley line heading for Hoboken Terminal in Spring Valley, New York, with an estimated arrival time of 8:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The train was led by a Comet 5 cab car 1636, had 3 coaches in the middle, along with EMD GP40PH-2B 4214 pushing the train. The GP40 was rebuilt from Penn Central GP40 3265. The train had 358 passengers and was being driven by 48-year-old Thomas Gallagher. He had been working for New Jersey Transit since 1998. As train 1614 races across the line, the passengers noticed that the train is heading a little faster than always. But before they could see what was wrong, disaster lay ahead.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with that horrific crash right at the height of rush hour. That train crashing with no warning. Passengers say it didn't even slow down. It happened.
A horrific scene in New Jersey this morning when a rush hour commuter train crashed into a station at high speed, leaving stunned.
A deadly train crash in Hoboken, and a major development this afternoon. The second event recorder and front-facing video camera from the train have now both been recovered, and they're.
The train slammed into the station at 8:45 a.m. doing 21 miles per hour. The derailment launched the train into the roof, causing it to collapse, while the cab car went past the post and ended up crashing into the waiting room. Due to falling debris, a passenger standing by the platform was killed. But surprisingly, not one person, not even driver Gallagher in train 1614, was killed in the wreck. But 114 people did sustain injuries, whether in the train or on the platforms. 2 passengers would later give their inputs on the wreck. Bhagyesh Shah, I do apologize if I pronounced that wrong, said, "The next thing I know, I'm on the floor. We were plowing through something, and when the train came to a stop, I could see parts of the roof on the first car and some of the debris next to me. It was going considerably faster than it should have been. Half of the first car was crumpled, and the roof crushed down to the seats." Leon Offengenden said that
the front car was essentially off the rails into the building of the station with the roof sort of collapsed around it. The first car was just demolished. The train looked like it went through the stop. The first car looked like it catapulted onto the platform into the building. The roof collapsed. There was wire and water, everything. The lights went out and a few people screamed. I was sitting, but I couldn't see the window. I didn't notice that the train was going at an accelerated pace. It was just going. Now, looking back, I guess it didn't slow down. It definitely didn't slow down. There were no brakes. All of a sudden, it just crashed. Something happened, obviously. It's the same feeling as when you get in a car crash.
everyone in general was asking the same question. Why did this happen? Was the driver reacting slow? Did the brakes on the train fail? Well, looking into the driver, he was skilled at his job and always dreamed of becoming an engineer. However, the driver did report that he had no memory of the crash before waking up on the floor. After medical tests, it was noted that driver Gallagher had undiagnosed sleep apnea, which is a disorder where someone will stop breathing, then start again in, of course, a state of a deep sleep. It is especially common in men, and major factors include age and obesity. So while the train was heading towards Hoboken, he ended up getting smacked directly by daytime fatigue, a symptom of sleep apnea, causing him to be unaware of the terminal up ahead, causing the disaster. New Jersey Transit did have a program for sufferers of sleep apnea, but NJT cleared Gallagher for duty in July 2016, about 2 months before the crash. The NTSB also listed the age of the station as a cause of the roof collapsing, as the station was built in 1907, and it was listed that if the station had shock absorbers, the crash would have likely had less damage. However, it wasn't the only wreck to take place in Hoboken Terminal. In 1985, another NJT train slammed into the bumper and derailed due to a lubricant on the rails, but the damage was way less severe than this wreck. And most similarly, a PATH train derailed in the basement of the terminal in 2011, listing sleep apnea as a possible cause. I guess history repeated itself 5 years later. In the end, Comet 5 CAD car 6036 was presumed scrapped, while GP40PH-2B 4214 was quickly put back into service. The Paris to Hoboken terminal took 3 years but was soon completed in 2019. New Jersey Transit got certified for positive train control by the FRA on December 31st, 2018. Finally, preventable disasters can be avoided on New Jersey Transit, but other railroads aren't so lucky.